Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a new kind of conflict. It's not fought on land, or at sea, or even in cyberspace. Nope. This war is fought inside your head. It's called cognitive warfare, and it's all about the battle for your mind.
Let's start with this really powerful idea from military strategists, because it perfectly sets the stage. For centuries, war was all about taking the hill, right? Controlling the physical ground. But that's changing. Now, the ultimate high ground, the most strategic position you can hold, is psychological. It's about shaping how people see and understand the world.
And this isn't some abstract concept happening in a war room somewhere. The battlefield is the screen you're probably looking at right now. The front line of this new conflict runs directly through the devices we all use every single day.
So what does it actually mean when major global powers officially recognize the human mind as a war-fighting domain? Just like land, sea, air, and space. What does that look like? Well, the cognitive domain is essentially the space inside all of our heads. It's where our perceptions, our beliefs, and our emotions live. It's where we process information and make decisions. So when you talk about conflict in this domain, the goal isn't to break a machine, it's to influence the human will. It's about disrupting the very trust that holds a society together.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't this just a fancy new name for propaganda? And yeah, it's related, but cognitive warfare goes so much deeper. It operates on a much more fundamental level.
Look at how this escalates. You start with information warfare, which is about controlling data and systems. Then you level up to perception warfare, which is about shaping how people interpret that data. But cognitive warfare, that's the final boss. It targets the brain itself. The goal isn't just to change what you think for a little while. The goal is to fundamentally alter how you think, creating new beliefs that stick around and sustain themselves.
A NATO-affiliated study put it in really stark terms. The key phrase here is the weaponization of neurosciences. Think about that. That's a chilling concept, right? It means using our own psychology, our cognitive biases, our emotional triggers, as weapons against us. The whole point is to degrade our ability to judge things clearly and to completely erode trust, all without firing a single shot.
So, how is this actually done? How is this new form of warfare waged in the real world? What are the engines that are really driving these operations?
The one-word answer is AI. Artificial intelligence is the engine that makes all of this possible at a scale we've never seen before. It's a massive force multiplier, running these influence operations at a speed that our human brains just can't keep up with, making it the perfect tool for this new kind of fight.
And just look at the arsenal it brings to the table. You've got algorithmic curation, which quietly shapes your reality by deciding what you see in your feed. Behavioral profiling that knows exactly what will make you angry or scared or hopeful. You have bot swarms that can create the illusion of a massive grassroots movement out of thin air. And then there are deepfakes, which attack our basic trust in what we see and hear. It's a whole invisible architecture of influence working 24/7.
All right, so we've got the engines, we've got the tools, now let's get into the playbook. How are these powerful new capabilities actually used to turn our own minds against us? This is a really core concept, especially in Russian strategic thinking. It's called reflexive control. And it's not just about lying to somebody. It is way more sophisticated than that. It's about feeding your opponent a carefully curated stream of information, little cues and signals, so that they willingly and voluntarily make the exact decision you wanted them to make, all while thinking it was their own brilliant idea. You basically make them the architect of their own defeat.
And you know what else is in this playbook? Something you see 100 times a day. Memes. They're like these little Trojan horses. They look fun, they look harmless, but they are often designed to deliver a hidden payload of ideas and emotions directly into our brains.
So why are they such effective weapons? Well, for one, they're incredibly high impact. They can pack a whole complex narrative into one simple emotional image. They're also super cheap to make, and they spread like wildfire. But here's the most important part. They are designed to completely bypass our rational, critical thinking. They hit us with an emotional punch that we absorb before we even have a chance to analyze it. They are the perfect delivery system for a cognitive payload.
So look, this isn't just some academic theory. This is happening right now. Major world powers are actively developing their strategies for this new domain, and their approaches could not be more different.
We're basically seeing two competing philosophies emerge. On one side, you have democratic approaches, which are mostly focused on defense. They're trying to build societal resilience, treating public trust as their most important security asset. But on the other side, you have authoritarian strategies, which often take a very offensive stance. They're seeking what some Chinese strategists have literally called mind dominance. They see the human mind as territory, a key high ground that needs to be seized and controlled.
This all leads us to the biggest, most important question of all. If the mind is the new battlefield, how in the world do we defend it?
Well, it turns out the best defense isn't some new technology. It's deeply human. It's all about building our own digital immune system. And that means becoming more aware of our own biases. It means actively practicing critical thinking, asking where information is coming from. It's learning to regulate our emotions, since those are the main targets. And it means rebuilding trust in solid, reliable institutions. Ultimately, it's about all of us becoming more cognitively literate, understanding the very mechanics of influence we've been talking about.
Which leaves us with this final kind of unsettling question. In this new world of constant influence, where the battlefield isn't out there on a map, but right between our ears, how do you really know your thoughts are your own? Defending that territory is going to require a constant, conscious effort from every single one of us.